Happy Halloween! Welcome back to the Hyperdrive. Guys, this has been an awesome day so far. Zach, do you want to hit them with a little bit of Hyperdrive info, like who we're doing it for?
Yo, keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. Okay, so here's the thing.
Zach's in a turkey costume.
I'm in a turkey costume.
Yes.
It's Halloween. I'm doing this because I owe it to you. Whatever pride I had, it's gone. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It's a small thing, a small sacrifice to pay for what you all give us to keep this place up and running month to month. We have dream jobs, and we have them because of you, and we know that. We get as many hours as we work. I've worked jobs I was a lot more miserable at in the past, for sure. So thank you all so much for keeping Hyper RPG up and running. Your contributions directly go into that, but this month, 25% go directly into helping Alexandria RPG. Sweet. Which is really awesome.
Yeah,
Really cool. And you're helping preserve RPGs, and now that we're partnering up with them, like, he's sending us books to play every month. And the stack that he bought for Thanksgiving, which we are deeming next month's Hyperdrive Family.
Oh,
it's going to be family.
That'll be
Fast
cool.
and the Furious. RPGs
That's
1
the time.
through
That
7.
is the time.
That's the whole day.
That's just only Fast
Thanks for
and
bringing all
Furious.
those books. We're going to do this instead. But because it is a hyperdrive, there's a little bit extra pressure today on keeping those donations running. Joe's going to have a real challenge tonight to keep up with your contributions. We should have prepped you and warned you a little bit. But
no, I'm down for
it's
this.
a hyperdrive. Keep them running in, guys.
Thanks
Every
again.
$500 earned, we are giving away a thumper box, and we have all sorts of exciting things to give away in those thumper boxes. We've been collecting a lot of swag for the last month. Those will go in there. But every $1,000 goal that we hit, like when we get to 6K, you can choose. You could just directly pick something from our Streamlabs merch store that you want, or to take a thumper box. It's up to you. You make that choice. And when we get to our 10K goal tonight, which we're going to hit, I have faith in you all. We're going to do this. And I mean, 2.5K, that goes directly to Alexandria RPG.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, so if we get even higher, that's great, because Hyper's usually shooting for 10, so that'd be awesome. But we're expecting, like, that's where we want to get. We would love to get there. We're going to be giving away a PS4 Pro with Red Dead Redemption 2.
What's that right there? What's that? What's that bad boy down there?
Oh, snap.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
snap.
Oh, snap. Oh, snap. Oh, snap.
Oh, pretty.
Wow.
Pretty.
As you were pointing in that direction, Ninja was running there, and I was like, Ninja's a good boy, though.
Yeah.
Sorry, Bert.
So we'll keep it going, guys. keep the train moving. I really appreciate all that you've gotten us to so far today. So let's keep that train moving. Get your friends. Hopefully you're just kind of winding down from trick-or-treating for the night, and you're ready for some spoopy.
I hope you're ready for some atmospheric fucking scary shit. Guys,
Spoopy.
welcome to episode 3 of He Left It Dead, a Call of Cthulhu RPG.
And for those watching on YouTube, it's Halloween, so please, just come on. I'm still a werewolf. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Oh.
It's fine, you guys. This is the closest animal
No, you're
costume
not.
we could find. And as we get started, someone who is off camera, I just realized I myself don't have any percentile dice, so if anyone could grab some for me as I set the scene.
Percentile is the one that it's either a D10 or
The ones with the two numbers.
The 2 numbers.
So, as a quick recap, because I think we have a lot of new folks that haven't seen 1 and 2, and I want you guys to be able to jump into this. This group of investigators has been brought together. It's 1851. It's London. And there has been a rash of what the police have been calling vanishings of children. About 25 children have just disappeared off the streets of London. No one's been able to make heads or tails of it. No one's been able to make any headway. So a gentleman named Lord Richard Hayes, who is a member of an organization called the British Society for Anglican Deeds, has brought together our investigators to do what the police have not been able to do and to solve this mystery. They encountered a man named Charles Dodson, who's also a member of the organization. Charles Dodson had a buddy named Joshua Dell, who was a member of a group, sort of a poor man's Freemasons called the Oddfellows. Thank you so much. A group called the Oddfellows, sort of a poor man's Freemasons group. His hot tip was they either knew what was going on with these kids or they had them there. Our investigators went to check out. They found the lodge completely abandoned, except for one girl who was calling herself Sarah. The place is completely empty. They found an area that definitely children were being kept in, and below they found these weird, creepy caverns with these ghouls just feasting on dozens and dozens of bodies. They also found a strange tome and a weird black metal rod. We found out that Peter Strumpf here is a werewolf. We found out that Lorna now?
Elisa?
Elisa.
Eliza is actually a half vampire hunter. We met
I thought it was Lorna.
Matthias.
What is
The
that?
scariest recap ever. We
Oh, when you hear that sound,
Send
that's-
help.
Oh.
Hashtag sanity.
Sweet. Okay. All right. We've already got stuff coming in. Awesome. Zach, roll
Oh, dear
1d6 for me.
God. Dear God, I missed
No,
that
I think
part.
it's good. I think it's sanity, not
That's
insanity.
sanity.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
good, yeah.
Hey.
That's a
So
fact.
you add that on back.
Oh, hey.
We met
Yay for hyper
Matthias.
rebounds per game and Alexandria rebounds per game. Smile, he left it dead. Has been amazing so far. Great job all.
Sweet.
Hope the hyperdrive has gone well. D hashtag reroll since I'm guessing they'll need this tonight.
We will.
They will. We met Matthias briefly. He is apparently the our werewolf's dad. They don't get along very well. And finally, we also met
Because it's hyperdrive,
James
let's
Cullen.
give Zach some hashtag insanity.
It's just
So-
gonna go back and forth.
We'll get there.
Hey, I'm at 63 right now. I'm good,
You're
boy.
killing it.
I'm good.
And then finally,
What's
we
your
met poor
sanity
James
at,
Cullen,
Matt?
who
It's
is
not that bad, actually.
just a guy just trying to make good, a
Yeah.
veteran, a retired police officer, a widower, and you guys have been monsters to him.
I've just been rolling poorly. My sanity is actually not that bad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's doing okay.
My
And then
sanity's
finally we met
crazy.
Kim Cannon's Apollina Wayworth. Kim's not here with us tonight. At the end
that
of last
right?
episode, we
Yep.
found out that Apollina, also a half vampire, but sort of at the center of the underworld of London society, and then a weird gaunt man that has been stalking you guys since the adventure began grabbed her by the face, and that is where we left the show. Welcome to episode 3, The Claws That Catch.
Ooh.
Kidnap Mr. Sandy Claus.
So, we're going to begin on the street outside of the Oddfellows Lodge.
Hashtag reroll after last week. These guys are going to need their rerolls.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's
Yeah,
We're
not
at
a
2
joke.
right now?
That is not a joke. We need those rerolls.
Or
Yeah.
more?
2 rerolls total.
So we're going to begin on the street. Matthias, you were standing outside with this young girl
Who I know.
who's
goes
called
by.
Sarah. Who,
No.
has
She told me her name was Alice.
she did she confided in you
if
confided in
it's
you
true.
that her name is Alice. You were standing near the wreckage of what was the white hair carriage that brought everyone to the Oddfellow Lounge. Unfortunately, it's wrecked because a particular werewolf lost control at the sight of his father, burst out of the Oddfellow Lounge,
Oh, I did that.
disappeared into the night. Matthias, you're alone. For all intents and purposes, in the darkness. And you find yourself in the presence of this strange man, tall, sort of disproportionate, sort of a longer neck. There's just something very wrong and off about him. He's very still. He has sort of a coated collar that sort of pops up over the sides of his face. They hide his features. He's just standing, and he's just watching. You don't really see a lot of details in him. He's sort of a silhouette. But he's there, and he's looking directly at you.
You there! Who are you? I'm looking for my boys.
The figure sort of cocks its head at you a little bit. And without much of any other kind of response, just turns towards the Oddfellow Lodge and walks into the front door, leaving
Since
you
turkeys
alone.
ain't really a thing in old London, I guess Peter has a hashtag phobia for pigeons, or other birds, if he already is afraid of them.
Good. Good,
Right-
that's
yeah,
fine.
Write it on your sheet. Don't
Good.
don't forget that one.
Keep your shit together, Bert.
So this creature walks into the Oddfellow Lodge, leaving you in the dark, shaken by what you've just seen. Your phobia of darkness starts to kick in, and I need you to roll against your sanity, please.
Cool. Oh, that is a fail
Okay.
by a decent amount.
Start to sort of feel the hair on your arms start to stand up, and your fingers start to involuntarily tremble a little bit as a cold chill sort of catches you. Your breathing starts to get ragged. You're not a young man anymore. This already feels like a little more than you expected to sign up for, and you find yourself sort of taking to one knee to catch your breath as this girl called Alice sort of stares at you curiously.
I just need a moment. The light. We need a light. Where are the lamps?
There's a crash in the alley directly across the street. And we cut back. Inside the lodge, Lorna,
Elisa
is sort of carrying or helping
I'm
James
straight
walk
up fireman carrying him.
out of the hallway.
Yep.
I say you're quite strong.
Comes with the territory.
Am I like a little more calm, or am I still like?
You're calm. You're still pretty. You're still a little drugged. You're still a little not with it.
Oh. Let's just take me out of here, please.
James Cullen has a hashtag phobia of the London fog.
Please,
That is my intention.
thanks, Chad.
I apologize for earlier. It just seemed the most direct way.
Yes, of course.
Looks
Okay.
like there's some fog rolling in.
I should have asked how to do
Hashtag
this.
smoke.
Green
oh,
button.
That's fun. Hold the green button.
Oh?
So, as you walk into the lobby towards the front door, you're alone.
Huh?
And
What's happening?
Just hold it down for a while.
James, there's a moment as you start to beg Eliza not to leave you, that fear of abandonment, that you're too old, that you've lost a step, starts to really kick in, and I need you to do a sanity check.
Oh dear, please don't let me go, please.
I've no intention of letting you go.
15. I'm good.
Okay, you're good. Okay,
Yeah.
so you sort of hold it together. You're upset. Take 1 off of your sanity.
Strange. Has someone opened the front door?
The front door is wide open.
Where did that man go? You said your name was it was Elisa?
Elisa, yes.
Not I see. So you
No.
are connected to your family like that.
As I say, I'm only a distant cousin by virtue of my age.
Yes. Of course. We must go find this man.
So
I acted out terribly.
you step over sort of the
James Cullen has a hashtag phobia of half vampires.
It's oddly appropriate. It makes sense.
So you guys step over the sort of circle of rot, the ring of it that sort of forms around the door, and you're heading outside. I
Yes,
suppose?
looking for Matthias.
Okay, so you step outside, you see Matthias, he's sort of staring down the alley.
Light. We need light. I'm going to go to the broken carriage and try and fashion some sort of torch.
Okay. Bill Regal at this point has also sort of again, he was glamored, so he's just kind of been wandering around. He's sort of come back to his senses.
Oh, because his carriage was destroyed, yeah?
Yes. He's sort of come back to his senses. He's staring at the carriage.
Mr. Regal, don't just stand there. We must start a fire.
Where's my son?
No, I'm...
Where's Daniel? Where's my son?
Your boys. Oh no.
I set
Where's Daniel?
James down.
I can stand. Thank you.
Daniel, What are you talking about?
He was here with the care. Look at this. It's like a
You're not immediately
like a
attempting
creature.
to return to Lord Hayes.
In what? And with who?
Something must have happened to Apollonia.
Have you done something with him? Where's Daniel? Where's my son? Where's my boy?
I don't know where your son is, but there does seem to be an epidemic of children disappearing, doesn't there?
Well, I'm afraid your son might have been taken. Bill, I'm so sorry. We will get to the bottom of this.
And speaking of family connections, who are you?
Yeah, I lashed out at you. I must know who you are.
Mr. Strumpf didn't seem too pleased by your presence.
Strumpf is not his real last name, or at least that is the name
The fuck it ain't.
of his mother. He is Peter Darrington, my son.
Your son?
It seems like I have 2 sons tonight that I must reclaim from the darkness.
From the darkness. Do you know something?
We need light. First we need light, and then we'll be fine.
Right.
You said you can't bite me, correct? Don't do that again,
I
please.
can bite you.
So
I just can't turn you.
James, as
I'll
you
have to
sort
get
of
that checked.
as your head is starting to clear a little bit, just the phrase "don't bite me," you sort of everything that just happened to you really kind of starts to come into focus. You're getting a little more of your senses back, and this is kind of yet another last straw for you as this newly discovered phobia, and justifiably so, this phobia of all things vampire sort of kicks in. You're staring eye to eye with this woman that just drained blood from you, and I need you to roll against your sanity.
I'm gonna re-roll that.
Okay.
we
We have 5, so now we have 4
Oh.
rerolls.
Oh yeah. Ugh. Burn it.
I'm gonna re-roll that.
I can't let you derail this already. My sons are out there.
I'm gonna re-roll that. Oh
Okay.
my god.
You guys, they're going to need a lot of rerolls.
Because Matt's using all
All right,
of them right
18. Third time's a charm. Right, everybody?
So-
now. What's that, the third time or the fourth?
It was the 4th time's a charm.
Lose 1 sanity point,
Okay.
and your feelings towards this woman just turn cold. You're not afraid. You're not out of control of your faculties, but you don't trust this woman as far as you could throw her. You don't want her here. As far as you're concerned, she's probably part of what is making these children vanish.
Look, whatever is taking these children must have some sort of connection to the supernatural. If there's anybody here who has that, it's you, Strumpf, and Apollonia.
And what about this person? And what about this Darrington?
I don't know anything about him. He looks like a man who lost his son to the darkness.
Yet somehow he is the father of a child who seems to be infected with lycanthropy. Would you know anything about that?
I think he asked you a question about, did you have anything to do with this?
I didn't. I don't have any connection to this whatsoever. All of you seem to personally know people who've gone missing. Miss Lady Wayworth also.
Yes.
Speaking of, there was another with you, was there not?
Yes.
She'd not come out.
I'm afraid something's happened to her.
I'm going to look around to see if there are at least the horses from the carriage, or did they
Okay.
bolt?
The horses have bolted, unfortunately. Go ahead and roll. Go ahead and roll your intelligence for me. Roll against your intelligence.
Yep, that's a success.
Okay. So, as you take a moment to sort of look around, you see that the carriage is wrecked. A little further down the street, a small wooden statue that was sort of put up on the sidewalk has just been splintered right in half. You see spots where dirt has been kicked up where you see clear scratches
Okay.
against the exterior of buildings. You see a pretty clear trail.
Good Lord, Matt. Stop blowing through these re-rolls. Who do you think you are? Zach? Hashtag re-roll.
Thank you, chat.
And I think we hit a 500. I don't know if I have to do anything.
You don't.
Okay,
They'll take care of it in the back.
great.
Well, I think that I know what my decision here is very clear, and it's I'm going to find my son. So if whether you're coming with me or not, Mr. Regal, please go back and tell Lord Hayes everything you've seen here, and you are free to come with me or not, but I'm not going to wait here any longer.
Don't you
I'm
think it's
certainly going with
suspicious?
you.
Don't you think it's suspicious that a vampire friend,
I'm not a vampire.
your friend, disappears and suddenly Bill's child is gone as well?
Eliza, you hear it first. There are horses coming.
Someone's
Two.
coming.
Sounds like a carriage.
Do you hear that?
No.
I don't suppose you would. Anyway, we've got a decision to make. Someone is coming. If they are friendly, then perhaps they could aid us in our endeavor to catch up to your missing son, who I am very interested in finding, mind you.
And if
But
they're
if they're
not
not-
friendly, and how do you suggest we explain this
Well,
or that?
or what?
You are, as a reminder, covered in blood and whatever weird
You bite him in the neck.
guts you
I did
walk
do
through.
that.
Something on my face.
So, a carriage rounds the corner.
Take a step back over towards. Is Alice still here?
Yes.
Okay.
She's still sort of standing beside you.
I'm gonna hide behind the ruins of the other carriage.
Okay. Of the white
Mhm.
hair. Okay.
I'm just going to cause a scene. I'm going to wave down the people and be like, help, help.
Okay. Okay. So, James sort of just steps into the road,
Stop!
waving
Stop!
his arms.
Stop right there! There's been a terrible
The
accident!
two this carriage wasn't booking it by any means, but the
Stop!
horses are reared back, and the carriage comes to a halt, and you recognize Mr. Penn in the driver's seat of this carriage. It's a sort of a short, angry-looking little man.
Hello, Zach. I hope you are well. Have a little hashtag sanity, and remember I believe in you.
Aww.
Look at that.
It's cute.
You can go and roll a 1d6 and see what you get back.
Hey!
Well, that's a 6.
Big ol' 6.
I'm so sane.
Mr. Penn just...
Oh, Mr. Penn, Mr. Penn.
Mr. Cullen, what in blazes is going on?
This goes way further than any of us could have anticipated.
You mean further than any... What's happening?
Bill's
what's going
child
on,
has
man?
been taken. His son is gone. In a blink of an eye, he disappeared.
Regal's boy has
Yes.
disappeared.
Yes.
And sort of from the back of the carriage, you hear, another boy's been taken! And sort of a slender sort of guy sort of hops out. You remember this guy, Charles Dodson? You met him at the party. Sort of hops out and he's like,
This was the actor.
yeah,
Yeah.
he sort of
Yeah.
introduced himself as like
Yeah.
a jack of all, unemployed, like
Yeah.
a jack of all trade, naturalist, a poet, blah, blah, blah. The carriage man's boy, taken.
Yes.
Does
What,
he
just in front of
actually
everyone?
have a boy? Do you know this for sure?
Penn's just kind of like, of course he does. Daniel's a good lad. You can confirm that. Daniel was in the carriage when you guys arrived.
Daniel was a
Yeah.
good one, yes.
We were circling after we dropped off Matthias. It just seemed strange to me that it was so quiet. What's happening?
Oh. I have seen things.
I
things.
stand up from where I was hiding and reveal myself.
Ah, Lorna! Oh, God!
Pen, do you know more than you're letting on?
Penn just stares at you and it's like, more than I'm letting on than what? All I know.
Meaning, how is it that these normal humans seem to be mixed up in the supernatural? You certainly must have had some sort of awareness of what we might find.
Supernatural. And
Don't
he just
play
sort of-
dumb. Don't you play stupid.
Now look here, man. Calm down.
No, you cool your jets.
It was coming.
We have seen enough, and we want answers now. What are you hiding from us?
He just stares at all of you and is like, all of you should be back at the manor explaining what it is you've seen. Did you find the children or not?
No.
Yes, at least one. And I step forward, and I extend a hand to Alice,
Okay.
but I'm not like grabbing it. I'm just.
Okay.
Like-
She's cautious. She's sort of staying behind you. She's staring at Penn and Dodson. You know, these are new folks.
We have found a survivor. We're going to take her back to the estate right now, and then you will be giving me everything I need to find my sons.
And this is all you found, one child. This is all you found.
We found evidence that others had been kept here. But yes, this is the only child we found, if she is indeed a child.
If she isn't...
Well-
I don't begin to understand what it is that any of you are talking about.
What was your name again, girl? Sarah.
She just kind of nods.
Yes, this is Sarah. And I give her a wink.
Do I see that wing?
Both,
Yeah.
both of you go ahead and roll your spot hidden.
Okay.
Oh, I might.
I rolled a 1, baby!
Ah, damn. Just barely missed it.
You missed it?
No, but I'm gonna re-roll that.
Okay.
I definitely saw that wink.
Okay.
You-
So that was...
How's
This is a university professor. He's not a spy. He's not... I mean, he's a square old man who's just... So both of you see it.
Do you really think that none of us saw that? Child, what is your real name?
At this, but she sort of shrinks back. She actually steps behind Matthias.
I am done with you questioning this poor innocent girl.
I'm questioning you now.
Great.
It seems like you're withholding
You
information.
can
from me.
question me as I go to Lord Hayes' estate.
And Dodson sort of steps forward and sort of smiles and gives the girl sort of a little wave. And he's like, well, that is where we should go. That's why we were coming. We have
Yes,
we
yes.
have a bit of an update.
I start walking towards the carriage, trying to
Okay.
move with Sarah.
Pens just stares at you and is like, you said children were here. Where are they?
They were taken on a carriage.
Where?
To the...
What?
To the...
She doesn't know.
Didn't she refer to the cat... She referred to it as something, didn't she?
I don't know. I was rather occupied.
Dodson kind of just gives you like a... I mean, no offense, but you look it.
None taken.
I'm in the carriage at this point.
Okay. And I mean, if those children are taken on a carriage, maybe it is like I could maybe help a little.
How so?
Joshua Dell just showed up at Stanton House.
Joshua Dell.
The man who gave us the Oddfellows tip.
I see.
Perhaps he knows where the children have gone.
We need to interrogate him. If he is the only person remaining of the Oddfellows, he would know. And then we need to punish him if he did anything to these children.
I don't think we need to jump to extremes quite so quickly.
I stick my head out of the carriage. Yes, it'd be good to go before it gets any darker.
Let's go.
Right.
Or often. Sort of
Get in the carriage.
hold the door for you guys. Dodson gets in with you. As the carriage pulls away, Peter, you wake up with a start.
I need pads. Wait, what happened?
There are strips and shreds of the robe that you had put on the last time you transformed, sort of lying around. There's some sort of just like worked into your fur.
I lost control again. Why? My father.
Contributing to hashtag GM powers to turn Peter into a turkey.
You don't have to do that. There's limits to these things. It's called a story, you idiots. So, what else do I don't have any blood on me, do I?
Sort of check yourself over. There's still a lot on you. It's hard to tell what was from your encounter with the ghouls.
Mm-hmm.
So you are still pretty matted with what is now starting to dry
And
grossness.
where am I? What do I see?
So you look around. You are in. It's dark. The moon's sort of shining in a little bit. You look to be you're just in a storage warehouse. You see crates, you see barrels. You see.
We need that turkey. Hashtag GM.
Okay. Well, you gotta do more than $10 for it, Uber. Sorry.
You could set a really high bar on that. This is your story. You don't have to get into the will of the chat.
No, I'm working on it. You see a good distance ahead of you what looks to be a pair of legs sticking out from behind a grouping of barrels.
Hello? Anyone there?
The legs don't respond.
I slowly make my way towards them, trying to cover myself just in case it's one of the boys. So I walk forward slowly and peer around the corner.
You see a body of someone you recognize as the boy from the white hair carriage.
I did this. I lost control and I did this.
Sir, keep your voice down. There's a monster.
Oh. You're alive.
He has his head sort of on the side, and he has kind of one eye open.
No, the monster's gone.
Sir, there's a monster.
No, the monster's
I saw
gone.
it. It carried me here.
No, I was the monster, and I'm not anymore. You're in no danger. I will. Wait.
He sits up. You were the what do you mean you were the monster?
Do you have a pet dog?
No, my father won't allow me one.
Have you ever wanted a dog?
Certainly,
I like dogs.
Certainly, I'm 12.
I'm sure you like dogs too. This monster was just a big dog. It wouldn't harm you. It means you no harm.
Big dog, you have a demon in you, man! And he sort of gets up, he backs up, he slams into the barrels behind him. There's a loud clang,
No.
which disturbs some of the nesting pigeons inside the warehouse.
Fucking birds.
You could roll a sanity check for me.
Well done.
Oh.
I succeeded.
Yeah.
Look, just don't make any quick moves or you'll stir up more of those fucking birds. Just Look, I'm just like I imagine he is a fluffy puppy. Just, I would never hurt a boy. I would never harm you. I was probably trying to protect you.
Here's 20 towards Uber's hashtag GM Gobble Gobble.
Oh, they think they're funny. So
he's kind of staring at you.
Right? I'm just me. I'm just a man. I'm
Hashtag smoke him if you got him.
That was good.
that's your.
There's a light that sort of pours in to the warehouse just a little bit as a large door is pulled open.
I was wearing clothes earlier, but this isn't what it looks like.
Oh, I thought he said smoke hen if you've got him. I was like,
No.
well done.
No, they just want you to smoke the room.
The boy sort of stares at you, and he looks towards the door, and you see what is obviously the silhouette of two policemen. One of them sort of bangs his billy club. Hide!
Good idea. I hide down among the barrels and pallets and things like that as well in the warehouse.
So Daniel Regal sort of gets up, dusts himself off. For whatever reason, he's taken this split-second decision to trust you. Just the beard. He's like, I don't know, like a big brother figure or whatever. And he heads towards the police. He's just like, it's just me in here. I was hiding. And you sort of listen to this conversation go on, and
I'm
you
ducked
hear
down naked behind the barrel.
you hear an officer saying, "Hiding from what, lad?" He's like, there was a beast, a monster." And they're like, "You're saying a monster that caused all of this?" And the other cop's like, "I told you it was a monster. It could have only been a monster. You never believe anything, but I'd say it was a monster." It's like it was, and the boys and the man, "Oh, if there was a monster, boy, and you saw it, what did it look like?" At that moment, you hear sort of the birds again, and the boy's like, "It was a. It looked like a giant bird."
I throw a bottle as far as I can on the other side of the warehouse to make a crash sound on the other side.
And the boy just points and screams, and he's like a demonic turkey. And it's there. It's over there.
Go over there.
Oh, the claws. The
So
two
I'd
officers
even
are like,
say, "Oh, where turkey?"
and the two officers are like, "Turkey, where turkey?" And they run towards the corner of the warehouse.
Bravo. Bravo.
Also, do me a real quick favor because it was really cool. Push that green button for a little bit.
Yeah, you gotta hold it down for a little bit.
Oh no, are we out?
No,
Oh,
let's
no,
go.
here it comes.
Takes
Both of those
warming up.
pigeons are obviously evil and some ill-timed droppings. Hashtag insanity.
Thank you.
Alright, you're good.
Peter,
Um,
as you sort of make your break for it,
I run. Okay.
I
So I make the noise on the other side, and I'm
Right.
going to use that opportunity when they look that way to kind of try to sneak out this side of the warehouse.
great. They're rushing.
Hopefully, my
Um,
naked body doesn't glisten in the moonlight.
As you make it out the door
Quite
in that
pale.
moment, one of these pigeons just swoops right past you.
Fucking birds!
And you are taken back to that key moment in your adolescence when birds became a real problem for you. And if you could walk us through a little bit
It
of
wasn't
that.
long after my father left me. It's my mother and I on the boat across the seas. I remember it well. We hid out in the bottom of the ship. Couldn't afford such a trip. My mother, knowing what I was trying to hide me from the others. Let's never forget the only thing that traveled along with us were the rats. And those damn pigeons. Thousands of them. All over the ship.
Sea pigeons.
stowed away. I had to eat them to survive. So many of them. I'll never forget upon ripping the small little heads off in my jaw, my bodies continuing to flap on the ground.
And you...
Sometimes up to hours after, as if possessed by something far more evil than myself.
And you sort of come back as you're running. That moment of sort of savagery that had nothing to do with the actual monster inside you that sort of makes you question whether it's your fault it's there, whether it was there all along. And as sort of those doubts and those fears sort of plunge back into your head, I need you to roll 1d6 to see how much sanity you've lost in that memory.
3. I lost 3.
Okay.
I lost 3. I'm at 66.
Daniel Regal sort of rushes after you.
What are you doing, boy? Just go with the police. You said I wasn't safe. I don't want to hurt you.
And Daniel Regal's just like, not going to be very safe with the police, Eva, if you take my meaning, sir.
The police, though, they're not meant to protect you.
I stole a top hat, sir.
How the fuck did you do that?
To sell it. To make a little extra pocket money.
How did they know you took the top hat?
They'll just know, sir. They'll just know.
Is
Please, sir, don't turn me into the cops.
I'm not... I'm not going to turn
Let's
you
just
into
get back to my father, sir, the carriage
yeah,
at the lodge.
I understand that, but Look, if I'm going to be running around with you, I need pants.
He just... not pants, but he, like, hands you his jacket.
All right. I make a loincloth out of it.
Which, okay.
I'm more concerned at the front, obviously.
Sure. Of course.
Just going to tie it around me.
And as you guys hurry back to the Oddfellow Lodge, we're going to cut back to the carriage heading back to the Stanton house. You guys have been in it for a little bit now, and as we're sort of winding down the trip, you find yourself sort of in this uncomfortable silence. No one's really talking to anyone. Charles is just kind of wide-eyed. Like, so, can someone tell me what's going on? Because, I mean, I don't think everyone was best friends when we started this trip, but certainly not this bad off.
Do I arrive around now or later?
Later.
Okay.
Dodson, these are things that you... Do you know about the supernatural?
Do I know about the hunting bandersnatches? What are you talking
I'm
about?
being
What on
serious.
earth is a bandersnatch?
Yeah, what is that?
Nonsense, which is what you're all talking about.
No. What
I
we're
slap
talking...
him.
Oh!
You slap Charles?
I guess
slap
that's the world
Charles.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just you're
Jesus
just perpetuating the violence that happens to you.
Christ!
Now listen here.
What is happening?
There
I
are
look at him like-
monsters out there. Okay? That is real, sir. Now you need to listen to what we have to say, and you need to help us in any way possible.
I'm listening.
Good. Good. Say after me. Monsters exist.
Monsters exist.
Yes, good, good. They are taking children. Say it, that they are taking
The
children.
monsters are taking children.
They are taking children.
They're taking children.
Good.
What are they doing with the children? I don't understand.
I'm not entirely sure.
Writing
But-
everything that just went down.
You're writing it down.
Yeah, what he's talking about.
Are you working on a novel?
What? No.
So the carriage sort of comes to a stop, and Mr. Penn opens the door. Well, here. He holds open the door for everyone.
Peter Strumpf has a hashtag phobia of clothes. They are just so restricting.
Yeah.
Charles sort of gestures for you to hop out, being a gentleman. After you,
I go.
doctor, professor? I'm not sure what to call you. I'm sorry, we didn't really meet before we had to leave.
That's quite all right. It's Professor.
Professor.
Sarah, come with me. And I, like, kind of try to help Sarah out of the carriage.
Go with her. And he sort of nods and steps out. And as you sort of take a moment to collect yourself in the carriage, James, the boy next to you takes your hand and says, "You shouldn't trust any of them, Father."
I know.
Yo, his kid's dead.
Super dead.
I know, Stephen.
Keep me safe.
At all cost.
One boy in the carriage.
I leave the carriage.
So you guys walk up the lawn.
I walk very fast.
Okay. You're walking fast. Charles sort of like takes a jog towards you.
Mm-hmm.
Are you? Do you need a bath
James
or
is
clothes
afraid of
or?
paintings. More specifically, the nameless, hungry things that he thinks lurk within. #phobia.
Oh, God.
I see. Reference to the Call of Cthulhu monster I fought last night in the video game version of this. Very specific.
I'll be quite...
Matt/James needs some #insanity about now.
So Charles is.
You're not
you know,
going to make it to the house.
No.
They're so mean to you.
I'll be quite all right, Mr. Dodson. Besides, it seems that we're in for a long night.
So. I apologize. It's under these circumstances. Otherwise, I would, look forward to spending some time with you. But this seems rather dire.
You should stop that right now.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I didn't mean to insult you.
No, I appreciate your kindness and your interest.
You have a husband. I apologize.
No, it isn't that.
An angry brother.
No, I'm an only child. I am quite accustomed to the state that you currently see me in. Being covered in blood is nothing new.
That leaves me quite a bit to process. Fascinated to find out what that means.
It's better you don't.
Well, I have a feeling I don't have much of a choice, given the condition of your friend and everything that's happening. But anyway, it sort of gesture. You guys have sort of west winged to the to the door. You walk in.
As soon as I get in, I'm looking for some sort of house attendant or staff.
Certainly. Mr. Penn has stepped in.
Add a couple more to the #reroll stockpile.
Yay.
Thank
you.
Of course, thank you.
That's going to start rolling eventually.
And he's going to use all of them.
I'd like to put on my tie.
James, as you sort of step in, a butler has come to sort of, Matthews has sort of snapped at a butler.
Yes.
Who's come over. Sir,
I lean
may
in.
I help you, sir?
Yes, one moment. I get down to like an eye level of Alice. Alice, Sarah, are you hungry? Have you eaten? Do you need anything?
She just sort of nods.
Yes.
Like,
Yes. Go with this nice man. You're safe here. Go with this nice man, and he'll find something for you to eat.
she's
I
sort
kind
of, yeah, after sort of a moment of kind of coddling, and she goes with the butler, who sort of walks towards, there's always that matronly
Mm-hmm.
lady who's raised a few kids in the house already, who seems to just be a magnet for a kid that might
Like a housekeeper?
Yeah, that lady.
Mrs.
sort of-
Doubtfire.
yeah, her name is Mrs. Doubtfire. And they sort of walk Sarah/Alice away. You're in a few moments after.
You all right?
I'll be fine. As long as we figure out where these children are going and this
Yes.
night ends.
Quite.
And Mr. Penn is just kind of looks at all of you and says, "Would you like a moment to clean up?"
No, that won't be necessary.
We're in a hurry.
Time is of the essence.
And he sort of just eyeballs like the grime, the unspeakable, like,
Oh yeah, I forgot we were like.
corpse filth
Yeah.
sort of dripping off of you onto the,
Oh, that's right.
onto the floors. And sort of looks at you and is just like,
It's
Very
nothing
well.
Lord Hayes hasn't seen before.
very well. And he looks at Dodson. Says, shall we?
Hashtag GM James's son isn't dead. He was taken from him by Child Protection Services. His PTSD caused him to abuse his child. He had blocked this from his mind, but the ghost/memory haunts him.
Oh my god!
That works.
That got dark!
Wow.
I thought you were cool. Now you're just fucked up.
I guess I'm just fucked up, dude.
Okay.
Damn. Thanks, Chad. Jeez. Jesus.
That was dark. I was worried about all the dead kids last week. That was dark. So,
Did you send that?
Dodson,
Wow.
Penn sort of looks at Dodson and is just like, let's get this over with.
Yes.
And Penn leads you guys down a hall. He leads you into the study, where your initial briefing / the first time you saw Peter have a transformation issue happen. This time they take you through the study and open a second door. Again, hidden. Hayes just has a thing with entrances, apparently. Just doors look tacky. So they sort of open this bookcase, which leads down. Dodson goes in first. Penn holds the door open for the rest of you. As you are bringing up the rear, James, you realize
Cool.
Stanton House has been in the Hayes family for several generations, and those generations are represented by the paintings in this hallway. Which you realize are watching you, staring.
It's just paintings.
Please check your sanity.
Flip it.
Well,
Flip it.
I'm gonna use a reroll on that. How many rerolls do we have?
You have 5 more rerolls.
Well, now we have 4. Now we have.
That was like the
3.
same number.
Now we have 3. All right, I'm good.
Okay,
I'm
you're
good.
good. Okay, go ahead and take 1 reroll away. You
Or
sort
one
of
sanity?
see one sanity. I'm sorry. Yeah. You see these eyes sort of peering at you, and then you feel a comforting squeeze on your hand. You look down. Your son smiles up at you. It just says, "I don't care what they think. I don't care what they think."
It doesn't matter. They're not. That doesn't matter. You're right. They're not actually.
You walk into the
You're
study.
Here. You're here.
You walk into the study, and Penn sort of gestures for you to head downstairs.
Oh, good. Ben, who made those monstrous paintings?
Monstrous paintings, sir.
They're hideous.
They're heirlooms, so that's 5 generations of the Hayes family.
And they must have only dreamt of nightmares. And I walk
Indeed, sir.
forward.
And Penn, who has been stoic no matter what you guys have thrown at you at this point, just kind of is like, closes the door as we cut to a man in a loincloth and a
We're almost there.
leading a
a boy.
12-year-old boy
12-year-old.
walking down a very foggy London street. This one's for me.
I can't wait to
You see
get back to the mansion where I
the
can
Stanton house in
hand
the
you off to
distance.
someone and take off this stupid cloth.
You do see the house in the distance. And go ahead and roll a spot hidden for me.
Spotted. Well, this might be a little tough. Okay. That's a success.
Ooh.
Okay. You're still a good distance off, but you see this gaunt man who has been stalking the group standing at the front door of
This is the
the
man
manor.
I've seen before in the
Yes.
woods. I would immediately recognize him, correct?
Yes. That's hard to
I
forget.
turn to the boy. You'll be fine on your own, right? You can see the mansion in the distance. Look,
Yeah, of course I can see it. What are you asking me?
wait. Can you see that man standing in the distance?
And he kind of like looks
Tall,
that
dark
way.
man.
He kind of looks the opposite way. Like he's looking directly down the street. Like,
No,
is it a cop?
no,
Is
look.
it a police officer?
No. Back towards the mansion. Up in the woods. Tall, dark man. Can you see him?
He looks to where you are pointing and stares, and it's just like, no, I just see,
But I see him.
I see my father. And he sort of points at the carriage that the rest of the group arrived on, and Regal
Look,
is standing near that carriage.
Go. Your father wants to see you. I'm sure he's very worried about you. Go to your father. Go.
All right. And he sort of pauses, and he's like,
Just go.
okay, and just beelines for his dad, yelling, "Dad, father, father!" And of course, sweet William Regal, this old man, just freaks out when he sees his son and just runs.
Now,
and
I'm still
grabs him
staring
and
in that
hugs him.
direction. Is that man still standing there?
The man is gone.
We're being watched. Haunted. Well, now that the boy's not around, I take off the cloak thing. That's...
Right on, all
It's
natural.
gonna be, it's gonna
And as
be
you-
really difficult.
As
from here
you
on.
walk back towards,
so says the chat.
as you walk back towards the manor house, we're going to cut back to, what used to be a wine cellar, devoid of wine now. Aside from the rest of you, there's one occupant that you've never met before. You find a man sitting in a chair, sandy blonde hair, looks to be maybe in his mid-30s. None of you really recognize him.
Matthias Darrington has a hashtag phobia of Peter Strumpf.
I mean, that's justifiable.
Thank you, Jet. That checks out.
You just let me know when I'm able to catch up to the rest of the group.
Mm-hmm.
I'm making my way hastily that direction.
Yes. The man sort of looks up from his chair and is just like, Charles, what now? What now? And Charles just sort of gives him a sympathetic look and is like, this is my friend, Joshua Dell. Joshua, a little in over his head.
Well, he's in good company.
That he is.
Mr. Dell, was it?
It is. I just want this to be over.
Gobble gobble.
I just want it to be
Finishing
done.
off hashtag GM for Peter the Turkey.
Like we're doing it again?
They never hit the full amount last time.
Oh. Well,
They're
good.
trying
Thanks
to.
for somebody.
They're trying to play you.
I mean,
Yes.
it'll get figured out.
Yeah. Welcome to Hyperdrive.
You just want what to be over, Mr. Dell?
All of this, the moment I knew that they had the children, I ran. I've been hiding ever since. People are coming to my house asking where I am. The holidays are coming. I'm supposed to be.
You're a coward. You are a coward, sir. You hid knowing that there are children inside of your
No,
establishment.
I'm not a coward. I'm a musician. I came to Charles the moment I knew. I told him, and Charles just kind of.
What can you tell us about what was going on inside of those walls, Mr. Dell?
They would bring. He kind of looks at Charles, who gives him a nod. Who's just Joshua. Breathe. Just breathe. They're here to help.
We haven't got time for this, and I'm going to glamour him.
Okay. Go ahead and roll that.
Power. That is my power score, so I succeeded.
Okay.
Mr. Dell, listen to the sound of my voice.
So
Look at me.
Mr. Dell sort of stares at Charles for another sort of lingering moment
Mr. Dell,
and then looks back to you.
you're going to tell me everything that you remember, calmly and in full detail.
I will tell you everything I remember, calmly and in full detail, my lady.
Where did they take the children?
They loaded them into carriages. It was just a fun club. The pressure was almost gone after they had been outed as frauds. Then we didn't have to sit and pretend to cast spells or do sorcery anymore.
No one is doubting your good intention. But clearly, the Goodfellows have become involved in some sort of mess involving these children being abducted.
They became involved with the stranger.
Who is the stranger?
I don't know, a man who came, who told our leaders that he could fix it, he could make them great again.
And
He could make them strong again.
And what do you know of the creatures dwelling beneath the manor? Beneath the cathedral.
The stone chapel is beneath the cathedral.
Piles of dead bodies. And banquet tables full of corpses. What do you know of it?
I don't. I just know the day the children began arriving.
What day was that?
God, it's been a month, 2 months. We'd keep them in that room, in those bunk beds.
And were they mistreated?
I helped build those bunk beds.
Were they mistreated?
Not by me. God help me, not by me.
But by others.
They just stayed in the house. When they left, I can't speak to it.
Do you know why they were taken?
I can't speak to that either, my lady.
Ask him about a boy named Bartholomew.
Do you know anything of a boy named Bartholomew?
In the last group to leave before I fled, yes.
Or a
I remember a boy named Bartholomew.
Or a child named Sarah?
There was a Sarah, yes.
Only one?
A black-haired girl. Tall.
And what's the last thing you can remember? Before you came to Mr. Dodson here?
I remember the children in the chapel being told that they would see their families again soon. And remembering that that was a lie that I couldn't be a part of. And that I had to put an end to this. And so, as they loaded the children onto the carriages that night, I left. I ran. I ran to Charles.
And you're certain you don't know where the carriages were going?
I do. I do know where they were going.
And where is that?
To the Masons, my lady. The Grand Lodge.
The Freemasons?
Aye.
No time to lose.
Yes, we must go there.
How did you get him to do that?
The Freemasons. Wait.
She's very compelling.
What did you just
Oh,
do? Joshua, and he kind of... have you released him at this point?
Thank you, Joshua.
Joshua sort of slumps. Who are all of you? Charles, who are any of these people?
We're
I
friends.
knock on the glass. I'm standing bare naked in the glass outside the door.
So, you knock on the door to this, they're sort of in a basement.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a knock at the door. Everyone, Penn sort of shoots his glance up. Charles, Joshua. What now?
Are you gonna open up or not?
Don't let him
You recognize that voice?
James has had it good for too long. Hashtag insanity.
Well, I'm gonna start walking upstairs. Wait to see what happens right now.
Okay.
Don't let him in. He
So-
can't control.
Come on!
James,
Sounds like your prodigal son has returned.
you heard the voice. You know what this means. Go ahead and roll 1d6.
Is it low or high? I need to know so I can focus.
Look, I want to apologize.
Do what?
Low or high?
I mean, this is how many sanity points you're about to lose.
It's gonna be 1. That's 5.
Look, I just...
Jesus
Do you
Christ.
want to use 28
I-
reroll?
You're
was
right. I
really-
use 1 reroll.
Okay.
That's a 2.
It's an upside down.
I really just want to say I'm sorry, everyone. I overreacted. And things got out of hand, but...
Jesus.
I'm walking upstairs.
James
Oh.
has once again. You hear Peter's voice.
Don't
You
let
see his
him in.
father walk
Don't
up the
let him
stairs.
Don't let him in. Don't let him in. He's crazy.
Your son grabs your arm and says,
Oh
"Keep me safe."
I will. Don't let him in. He clearly can't control it with the beast.
You realize your billy stick's in your hand.
Oh no!
He clearly can't control the beast.
Regardless of whether he can control it or not.
What are you doing?
I'm gonna don't take another step forward.
I might be afraid of what my son can turn into, but I'm not afraid of him.
Then you
Okay, I'm a little afraid of him. But
Then
I have
leave
to
him
let
out
him
there.
in.
Is
Do not
anyone
let
going to open this damn
Do not
door?
open that door. He
I'm
can't
gonna walk
control-
past
I'm-
both of
I'm
them while
go-
they're
No!
arguing and open the damn door.
Okay, you go up the stairs. You open the
No!
door, and you find Peter just naked, standing at the top of the stairs.
Monster.
Hey, what's up?
You are.
No. Look, I want to...
You can't control yourself.
I,
Put some clothes on.
He can, to some
Uh,
degree, Peter.
Look, I came here to apologize for my overreaction to this walking piece of human shit that you are traveling with.
Matthew.
I shouldn't have reacted that way. I
Matthew
lost
says
my
your son
cool.
is speaking.
Yes.
Oh no!
You're going to put what you just said about not being afraid of him to the test.
Sure.
And just roll against your sanity. You
Okay.
don't really know what to expect from the boy at this point.
I promise I will
That's a success.
keep it together for
So
now.
you lose 1.
Okay.
You take a moment to compose yourself, but you're open to what your son has to say.
Just it's important that I let you all know that I found the boy from the carriage, and he's with his father.
Where
Now
was
what
he?
do you have to say
He's
about
fine.
us being involved in the abduction of these children?
It seems I jumped to conclusions too soon, but
You accused me of...
I accuse the person who is missing. You and
I
Lady
make sure and
Wayward.
get really, really close to him.
I step back.
Like, really, really close. Like, the kind of uncomfortable close that, like, parts of my body might be touching you.
I
You
take
accuse
it.
me.
I'm not afraid of it. Yes, I accuse the one who goes rampant when he sees his own father and runs off, probably toppling all that stuff we saw outside.
Look, apparently, I was carrying the boy. Now, in my, we'll call it enhanced state.
He's cursed.
It is not.
And whose fault is that? Moving on.
Mr. Strumpf, not to interrupt, but do you want some pants?
Fuck you and your pants. I'm in the middle of a discussion. Now,
Only pants, you know.
I was carrying this boy.
to offer him
Now,
trousers.
I carried him to a location.
Please get some pants.
He looks at
And my
Dodson looks at
enhanced-
Penn, who's just like,
Heightened state. I believe I would
Walks
only do
off.
that if I thought I was protecting the child from something far more dangerous than myself, even in that form. I was of no... I harmed him none. I carried him to safety, so something else was out there.
What did you see?
I don't remember.
Damn it!
And your father, he's the one who's responsible for you being the way you are.
According to my mother, yes.
Well, I believe
left
you have
us
some explaining to do.
And left
Mr.
me like
Darrington.
this.
Professor, what do you have to say?
For your son.
Yeah, what do you have to say, Dad? I eat birds, you know.
You love birds.
I don't know.
You had so many growing up.
No. I had to eat so...
You called it Little Petey,
Oh.
and it was a pet that you
I
had?
lived in the bottom of a ship, hiding. Mother afraid that someone might find out what you made me.
Your mother stole you from me.
Stole me. She protected me. She raised me.
If I may, I'm assuming we're going to go storm the castle.
Where is Lord Hayes?
Oh, castle. What?
Asleep, I'm assuming. It's
The Freemasons
sort of-
Lodge, actually. At the Grand Lodge.
Freemason Lodge.
That's apparently where they've taken the children.
How did you discover all this?
Mr. Dell here was very forthcoming.
Wait, you knew about
there's
this?
a man on the chair.
Who are you?
Oh, this is Charles sort of steps in and it's like, this is Dell, the man who gave us the tip about the Oddfellow Lodge.
Gave you the tip, but didn't tell you about the Masons ahead of time. So he's withholding information.
I suppose so.
I may have jogged his memory a bit.
Jogged his memory.
And I don't know how you did it, but I appreciate it.
No, that's well and good and all. You made him remember, but he most likely remembered.
You've used a good deal of energy tonight. Possibly more than you're used to. Even a Dampier has her limits. Hashtag insanity for Elisa. The Hawthorns should never be weak.
Now, I understand you may have used your abilities to jog his memory, but that means he knew all along and chose to withhold it.
A fact that cannot be overlooked.
No, it can't.
A fact my fist is going to have a fun time reminding your face.
Please, he's been through. Charles sort of. Sir, please. He's been through quite. Are you sure you don't want any trousers or?
Why do you feel the need to? I don't understand. I'm fine.
He's only going to
You
rape
made
them
me
again.
this way!
I don't have time for this, and I'm gonna start moving. Would I know where the Freemasons Lodge is?
Matthews, where Professor?
There is no time.
There has to be. We can't just go. Wasn't there anything at that lodge?
A stained glass window.
Creatures.
A stained glass.
Wait.
It's a stained glass window. That's
Yes.
nothing.
What about?
Elisa remembers her hashtag phobia, the shadows. They're everywhere. Always in the corner of her eye, darting past.
Would I have seen the rod at any point during my conversation with them in that weird hallway?
Yeah, Apollonia would have been holding it.
I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna roll for myself whether or not I'm making this.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Wait. When I found you, was there anything else, anything that you found or anything of use in the house besides the girl?
Some strange black
Monsters.
rod and a book.
As you sort of reflect on finding the rod, that memory sort of expands into that cavern, the ghouls, the clattering of plates and serving dishes as these creatures dragged themselves across towards you, like shadows stalking towards you. Go ahead and roll 1d6 for me, please.
Are you alright? You look a little pale.
I will use a reroll. That is 5.
Okay.
How many rerolls do we have?
We have 2. Well, we now have 1.
That's a 1, baby.
What?
You
You rolled
so
very
you
well.
lose 1 sanity point.
Okay.
Sort of take a moment to breathe as you're not comfortable talking about this, but you're able to get through talking about it.
Well, out with it. Where is this book? Produce it.
I don't have it. She does.
Book.
Wait,
Someone took her.
where's...
Wait,
It was something.
where is Lady Wayworth?
Yes, there's another.
I feel like such a bastard. Where is Lady Wayworth?
I have suspicions, but I don't want to jump too
vampire.
quickly.
Something has happened to her.
To her.
Yes, I'm certain of it.
It wasn't me, I promise.
I know it wasn't you.
Well, then what are we doing?
She found a book.
She went missing. And
Wait, it wasn't me, was it?
no.
Okay.
Was it you?
No.
No, and the carriage driver, he
Can
He
you, are you
returned to his
alright? Can you
senses.
control yourself.
The carriage driver returned to his senses, which means that somehow she lost her control over him. Something's happened to her, something terrible, I'm sure of it.
Did anyone see something terrible happen to
I was
Wayward? Was she
No,
with
I was
you?
convinced she could take care of herself. She asked to remain behind, and I respected her wishes.
You really respected her wishes.
I just want to understand. The one thing that you found in the house that might be useful is now in the hands of someone who's missing. A book and a rod, and she had both of them.
That seems unfortunate.
It means
It
that
does.
whatever came after her probably didn't want us to have those.
We're storming the castle.
Liar!
It's not a castle.
Liar, you over there on the couch. You're not important enough for me to remove your name. These creatures. We saw creatures. Monsters.
Dell is just kind of like, so. He's just
What do you know of these monsters?
this very angry naked man is sort of yelling at him. Monsters? What?
Black
Charles, what monsters?
creatures.
We already discussed
Merged
them.
bodies come together as if many souls were joined into one.
That's blasphemy, man.
Yes.
You seemed to know about it a moment ago.
Where did they come from? How did you make them?
Monsters? Where?
Do you want me to bite your fucking throat out?
And Charles is kind of. He's told us what he knows. He's harmless. He's a.
Harmless.
I'm making my way up the stairs, but
He leads carolers during the holidays. He's harmless.
Hashtag phobia cats. Many years ago, Matthias killed a cat. He didn't want to, but he did it anyway. Now, whenever he sees a cat, he can tell it knows his guilt and wants
That's
revenge.
probably what led to the PTSD to cause him to beat his child. Started with cats.
He's
wow. Well, I make my way up the
Oh,
stairs while giving him.
Yeah, I know,
not me,
but I was a
Peter.
beaten child.
So we're just
a wide
going.
berth.
He's an idiot and a coward.
We're just going to the Grand Lodge.
Yes, we have to.
What other choice do we have?
I suppose. Oh, very well. To the. We're just going to the Grand Lodge. Okay.
Is there a weaponry somewhere in Stanton House?
We must arm ourselves.
Are you guys all? You're walking back.
I'm already up,
upstairs, yeah?
trying to look exactly for that.
Okay, so you've walked through this hall. As you come in, Mr. Penn has stepped in. He has clothes
Yes.
for this gentleman.
He'll need them.
So they should fit you.
I still feel a little restricting. They're making me anxious.
I don't think you're going to be able to walk to the Grand Lodge of the Freemasons with all of that out.
Do we need a distraction? I could possibly pose as a distraction. Are you going to make me put these clothes on?
Dare I say, sir, I don't like saying it, but I don't think I could make you do much.
At least
But
you're
still, the
acknowledging
clothes are
that-
sort of extended.
Yes. Fine. I put on the clothes.
Okay.
I don't like it.
Go ahead and roll.
Damn it.
Your sanity.
I don't suspect they'll last that long.
Why did you do that to me?
You have one re-roll, and you guys can give people back sanity.
Ooh.
That is a success. I am a-okay.
Okay, you put on the clothes. You're not you're not comfortable. It's a lot of the, just being indoors in general you don't like, but this especially so soon after transformation, really kind of bothers you. But you're able to sort of
I
breathe.
feel like insects crawling on my skin.
Now Mr. Penn is here.
Before we go, I feel like there's something I should tell you. For those of you who are not my piece of shit father, remember that moment where I ran outside after someone the first night we met? Well, earlier, I guess.
Yes.
I saw something out in the woods. On my way back here,
You saw something. What was it?
I saw something. The same tall, dark, slender man. Now, like I said, I carried
How
that
tall?
boy.
Lanky.
Yes.
I saw him too.
Where?
At the house. After you had stormed off.
I have not
I
I
seen
one
knew
of
it. I
your
was protecting
fits.
the boy. The boy must have seen that creature. Or I saw it or something. I'm sure of it. If I, in that form, took... I would like to believe that in that form I could be worthy of some good, and I'm just saying the boy must have been in danger for me to do that. And I saw that thing when I first got back here.
Mr. Dell, he said something about...
You saw it tonight. You saw it here tonight.
Yes, just like I did before.
Mr. Dell said something about the stranger. Could that be your tall, mysterious figure?
He moves fast.
I want to. Is there a library here?
You're in one.
Oh, perfect.
Sorry, you walked up the stairs. You're in sort of his personal study, which is, for all intents and purposes, also like a pretty sick, like bell-seducing level library.
Sure.
The hallway with all the paintings is beyond that.
Gross. We're in the library. I also... You go first.
Well, I'm going to look for a book. I'm going to use library use and try and find a book to cross-reference this. Everyone keeps saying this stranger, and we got only so much information out of it that
I would
trying to
trust
find
him around
something.
those books. Might end up with another one of me.
Is that how it began?
I only know stories. I was a normal human once.
I technically hit my second. So yes, success.
I can't relate to that.
So as everyone's sort of talking and he's getting dressed,
Yes.
you're sort of
The stranger.
looking around. You find very
Changes
quickly
the
sort of
name.
a section on you find sort of a compendium of let's say the cover, it's sort of an older book, and on the cover in sort of gold ink it says a compendium of fairies. That's the first sort of tome that sort of jumps out at you.
Sure.
That's in the library. The next two, you find some, a book about the history of vampiric lore. You find a book entitled Cities Lost to the Sea.
Ooh, a favorite.
You find a book called The Blessing of the Green Witch. You find a book. This is sort of just this little section,
Sure.
and then you find a book called Conjuring and Basic Magics of the Island of Britain, Briton.
Let me know when you find out how to kill it.
Also, do you think that thing has a relation to the Grey King?
The Grey King.
Yes. I saw a quote of it.
If it was that easy to remove Lady Wayworth, can you really be safe? Are they coming for old dampers? Will the people around you protect you? You can't be weak. Not right now. Not tonight. Hashtag insanity for Elisa.
So as
Let's go.
James is doing his best to recall the poem,
Yes, 'tis the eye in the dark. I'd where it stares, and where the eyes seek, the Grey King is there.
and as he's sort of doing his
Grey
best to go through that verse, Eliza, something just about the words sort of shapes itself in your head, and you just feel this cold sting and roll 1d6.
That's a 4. Do we rerolls?
Nope.
I'll take it.
Yeah. Remove 4 from your sanity.
Mhm.
I don't like when the chat takes it from you. Rerolling those is weird.
'Kay.
So as he says the verse, you sort of feel yourself, you start to get just tired, exhausted almost. You haven't been, well, actually, come to think of it, you've used your glamour twice tonight, haven't you?
I did have a snack earlier, though.
You did have a snack earlier.
This guy.
So it's not so much exhaustion from the use of your powers that sort of causes you to take a seat. There's something about the words. They're not assembling quite correctly in your head. It's like you have a puzzle that you've put together before, and for some reason tonight it's just not working. There's pieces missing or pieces have changed and something's not quite fitting together, and it's just sort of starting to upset you.
What is that?
You're looking through these books?
I feel like I ought to remember.
Okay.
Just trying
It
to...
isn't there.
You find information on some mythological creatures. There's a child snatching thing from Germany. There's
any commonalities with weaknesses or any sort of stories of how to defeat them.
Now, you know, as sort of an academic, so much of this is based on folklore and hearsay and tied into superstitions, or even in some cases, a village didn't like a guy, so they decided the monster looked like that guy.
Yes.
Now, hundreds of years later,
Yes.
You don't really find anything that
And that
necessarily
sometimes
correlates.
things that you don't think can cause something to happen end up having the most horrible ramifications.
And you sort of say that out loud as you're processing through all of this. You feel like, you know, as you peruse through these books, you don't really feel like you've found something necessarily of use.
I put them back in the right order. I'm looking for some of
anything?
Weaponry. It's...
I stormed out of the library in search of the weaponry.
Okay. Penn sort of hurries after you like, excuse me, miss.
We haven't got any time to waste, Penn. Point me in the direction of the armory immediately. I know that Lord Hayes is keeping things here.
Have your people gather at the carriage and I'll have some things brought up.
No, I insist to see it myself.
You insist to see it yourself, and this is not your house.
Well, would you like me to go awake Lord Hayes? I think he might have something to say about it.
I have something to say about that.
And what
threat.
exactly is that?
What do you have to say?
And Penn sort of gathers himself up with every sort of ounce of very British, this bothers me, and I'm not going to let you really know that it bothers me.
You may think it's me you should be afraid of, but I watched that woman stab a monster with a cane and then drain the blood right out of a friend of hers neck without a moment of thought. A friend, mind you.
Lord Hayes.
Who are you to this woman?
Keeps his hunting equipment in the East Wing. Follow me.
Good.
Are you two joining?
Oh, for sure, but I'm staying as far away as from...
Okay, so you're following. You're joining.
Yes, I'm ready. I'm going to...
Okay.
Mess him up.
We need lanterns, though. Lots of lanterns.
Okay. What is it with you and the lights? Is there something you're not telling us?
It's important. You can see things, and it keeps the darkness at bay.
Are you afraid of the dark?
I did not say that.
As you walk, James.
Are you afraid of
you
the
walk
dark?
sort of past the paintings, and the boy walks alongside you, walks through the border of a painting, is gone, walks through the next painting, and just laughs. Says, he is afraid of the dark, Father. He's afraid of the dark, like I was.
Oh, yes. No, not anymore.
Oh my God.
Not anymore.
Hey!
Huh? Yes? What is it?
Come on.
Yes, we must make haste.
Talking to yourself again.
Of course. Let's go.
I know you're just a wee little man, but you gotta keep yourself together.
I'm doing just fine. Dealing with the likes of all of you. You almost killed me.
So as you guys walk together, Penn leads you to sort of, I don't know, a mud room. It's near the stables. There are some rifles, hunting rifles. Nothing in the way of like of a pistol, like a handgun, like you have. There are some swords, some collector's items, some just swords. People had swords.
As a history buff, I go for the one that looks like a Roman gladius, and I take that.
Okay. Okay, sounds good. So you take that.
I take a rifle. I'm a good marksman.
Okay.
I expected better of you, Lord Hayes. And I'll just take the biggest sword I can find.
Okay.
They load now like this. And
Oh, is that yeah?
Okay.
I think.
So you find a pretty good-sized, like, officer's
Thank you. You could take the
saber.
musket. It just it's not very.
and strap that. Actually, let me roll that back. You find very odd-looking sword. You find this curved scimitar, which is no doubt a souvenir.
I'll take it.
From what was surely not a problematic expedition east.
Not at all.
With the East India.
And is there a hand axe anywhere?
Yeah.
I'd like to have one on my side.
Okay. Yeah, you find like this little wood axe nearby. Peter, are you taking anything? Are you good?
No,
Okay.
I'm fine.
Okay. So everybody's Pen is not happy.
Because I'm a fucking werewolf. Dad.
Are we quite done pillaging his lordship's wares?
Yes.
They will be returned promptly.
Yes, we're
minus
merely borrowing them.
The bullets.
To the Freemasons.
Very well. Pen sort of escorts you guys back up front to the carriage.
As we're walking out,
Charles is sort of slinging a rifle uncomfortably over his shoulder. This is definitely the first time he has handled a rifle before.
James, Mr. Collins.
Yes.
It seems that you know how to handle that. Are you
Yes,
a veteran of Her Majesty's
I am indeed.
conflicts?
Yes.
I say it as the only two individuals of this original group that are not cursed. I suggest that we stick together. Also, I confide in you something that now that my son is back, it's bringing back a lot of fears. My goal tonight is to find my youngest, Bartholomew. I cannot trust that my other son will keep his well-being in the forefront of his mind.
I cannot trust that as well. So yes, we should stick together.
Good.
Yes. For the Queen. I don't know what they say.
So, as you sort of
Her Majesty, yes.
as you head to the carriage to sort of load up, we cut to nearby highway, Ratcliffe Highway,
Oh.
where 4 police officers are circled around 2 bodies. The tops of both bodies' heads have been removed. There are traumatic wounds across all of them. And the senior officer of this group is just shaking his head. He says, and to make matters worse, lads, look at this. And he sort of just opens. He's like, there's nothing in this man. Nothing. And he points at 2 of the officers who are familiar. And he says, I thought you were drunk before, but I'm listening now. What kind of monster would do this? And one of them just takes his hat, squeezes it in his hands, and says, I tore a turkey, sir. Giant, bloodthirsty, bird beast from hell.
My worst fucking nightmare.
We cut back to the carriage sort of pulling away. Sort of parallel down from Ratcliffe Highway. So you guys are in this carriage. You're, it's going to be probably maybe a half-hour ride further into downtown London.
Of course.
Right now, it's just sort of an awkward silence.
So I'm gonna.
Hashtag reroll.
Yes.
Got a feeling you guys will need this.
Yes,
So
thank you.
am I sitting inside this carriage across from my father?
Uh,
Very small, closed in space.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and sort of say, great. Sort of the order of entry here is there's 2 benches facing each other.
Yeah.
Matthias and Peter are sort of facing each other on this end. The 2 of you are facing each other on this end. You're actually more. Charles is sort of sitting next to Eliza, and you two have sort of split the difference on your bench. There's a space in between. Penn is
I've
driving.
not taken my eyes off of Matthias.
I do not look at him.
My son's sitting next to me.
Hmm? What?
Sorry? My son, he's always with me.
Your son who was
Well, that's a lovely sentiment.
taken, who passed away years ago.
You know, when my
He
uncle
is here.
when my uncle Robert died, he was a favorite of mine, and I always just used to that it comforted me to always imagine that he was here. That's a good sentiment, sir.
Oh,
My
I'm
father
nothing
abandoned me when I was a boy.
Okay. Charles kind of just.
Not long after inflicting me with this curse.
So, I don't know if there's any sort of plan here.
Hashtag reroll. I think you might need another.
Yes. Walking into
Yes, thank you very much.
the Freemasons' Grand Lodge unannounced is a
The
bit
plan
like
doesn't matter
walking
to
into
you.
Buckingham Palace.
You're going to stay behind.
I can be of some use.
No.
Yes, I'm with Elisa on this. You are dead weight.
Cannon fodder might be nice.
See?
There's no reason for needless sacrifice.
Beg to differ, but
Very well. I'll stay in the carriage and keep an eye out, I suppose.
Yes.
All right. Bit of a blow to the manhood.
He could be of some assistance. Another person.
No, it's fair. I can play lookout.
Can you actually handle that rifle?
No.
It's best that he stays by the car.
I just teach. I like take it and load it for him and make sure it's like. And then you fire, and then you do the same thing.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
I'll be your sentinel on the street then.
yes.
Yes.
Eye in the dark. Okay.
Father.
Peter?
Know your years on your own now. What's it like starting a new family? Mother died, by the way, pneumonia. Years ago. Not that you care.
Am I still maintaining my fear of him?
You're good right now.
Okay.
Must be nice being able to move
Saddened
on,
to
start
hear-
anew.
I'm saddened to hear of your mother's passing. I will continue to not say any ill against her,
Wise choice.
especially now that she's gone.
The carriage pulls to a halt, and there's a moment, and then the door opens. Penn is there. We're about a block away.
Yes, is good enough, right?
Perhaps it is better that we traverse on foot from here.
Dodgen steps out, kind of gives it a look around. Well, the lights are all on. Someone's home.
Good, the lights are on.
Make yourself scarce. And be prepared to leave in a hurry.
Alright, so how are we gonna do this?
We don't know what we're going to encounter in there. What's the Freemasons? I don't think they have anything against women entering their premises.
No, not against women entering the premises. So, just to sort of get everyone on the same page, the Freemasons were, basically a massive social club with a lot of secrecy around them. The Oddfellows, in comparison, were sort of a wannabe Masonry. It was the Masons who, this was in the papers, this is news if you just take a minute to remember it. But it was the Masons who sort of proved that the Oddfellow mythology was all garbage
fake,
and that
yeah.
they were fake. And these groups do this. They have their little social battles. They send spies over spies. But the Freemasons, especially here in London, and especially here at the Grand Lodge, they're the biggest of these social clubs in the world. They've started to spread across Europe. And you see the road ahead of you sort of forks, and then the sort of the city area here, the corner building is the Grand Masonic Lodge. It's this just big stone building. You see it's lit. Even from here, you can see there's activities. There's carriages pulling up. There's people getting out, walking in.
Perhaps it might be best if we don't appear to quite literally be storming their castle, but
We blend in.
What if we stopped one of these carriages, knock out the passengers inside, steal their clothes and their invitations, and walk in as if we were supposed to be there?
would you wear the clothes, Peter? Peter, would you wear the clothes?
If I have to, for espionage sake, yes.
For once, I agree with Peter. I think that this is something we should do.
Appears there's some sort of gathering. We can assume that this is most likely by invitation.
We blend in.
I could walk you in.
Oh,
That's an option.
That's-
Just walk in through the front.
that seems a little more civil, yes.
Wait, did you have a pass?
I'm on good terms. I've been here a lot.
Yeah,
Are
let's
you
do
a
that. That
member of
sounds
the
way easier.
Freemasons?
No, remember I told you I've dabbled in all of these groups and ended up finding the society much more to my liking. But I'm not
But they
unfriendly with
trust
these folks.
you.
Yeah, I'd say they trust me. I could probably.
There's
yeah,
a
there's a
hesitation in your
hesitation.
voice there.
Do you actually know this person, or are you just saying you know this person?
Just trying to look cool to the rest
Yeah.
of us.
I look quite manly on my own. Thank you very much.
I didn't say
Then
anything
we're
to do with manliness,
questioning your
I just-
manlyhood.
But yes, I could get us in.
Look, I
Sore
understand that
subject.
we outperform you in just about every area, and that's making you uncomfortable, but you act as if you can help us in this situation, and if you take us into this, and you are, in fact, lying or boasting just to make yourself
Then
look
my
good.
throat will get ripped out, won't it?
Yes, that was what I was going to say next.
Very well. Let's
Let's
get
not
you
rip
inside.
out anyone's throats.
Yes, no
please.
throats are being ripped out today.
Son. Peter.
And if they are, it's certainly not by you. It'll only be a waste.
Well, then it's settled. Then I start to put like I keep the sword hidden.
I didn't answer anything. I'm just going for the record. I didn't say anything. I just got my mouth shut.
I'm sorry. Are you saying something? Mumbling? What did I tell
No.
you about mumbling?
I don't remember. That was so long ago.
Take us in.
You don't mumble. You don't. It's very rude to mumble. You don't.
Very
You're
well.
mumbling right
That's fine.
now.
What?
Trying to do
You're
I'm putting the guns away. You can't walk in there with all these arms.
Like further, like
So the group sort of does their best to,
I
you know,
sort of-
under whatever like long clothing.
Sure,
you-
hide
you sort
the
of have
scimitar
sort of like
under
hide
my jacket.
weapons.
I'm like
Um,
putting the gun back in the carriage. Like I know that there's no way for me to like bring this in.
Okay.
Oh, I definitely still have the sword on me.
The sword I'm keeping for sure. Yeah.
Mr. Penn hands Charles his long coat, and Charles sort of puts that on. And, thank you. So, Charles heads towards the front door. There's
Mr.
a-
Dodson, I don't suppose you've got
Lady.
a handkerchief. I think I might cause a bit of alarm.
You know, let's do one better. And he
Yeah.
hands his rifle back to Penn, takes that long coat off, hands the long coat to you to put over your gross coat, and then even the request is sort of brightened up quite a bit. He's definitely a schoolboy with a crush. Sort of takes his handkerchief out of his breast pocket and hands it over.
I
Gross.
put his jacket on kind of over mine, and I wipe the traces of blood off of my face.
Almost passable. He gives you a wink. Takes you guys to the door. As you're walking up, the door opens. Two people step out. Very nice clothes, with masquerade masks
Yes.
on.
Ah, good evening.
They're laughing. They're clearly drunk. Good evening, my man. how does the night find you?
Well, very, very well. Are we too late?
Look at these I wouldn't have thought to dress as poor people. Splendid, splendid. Not too late at all. Not too late at all. Any boy? I'm sure you'll find something to your liking.
I thought we were not taking the direct approach.
He sort of gives your tush a little.
Oh my God!
I would like to slit throats. Is this an option?
You'll have the opportunity. Just be patient.
So this man and this whoever he's with sort of walk up, sort of laughing, and Charles is just kind of like, that went fine. He steps up to the door. Are we prepared?
I've read enough stories to know that we must
Can we just get on with this? Let's go inside.
split up and cover as much ground as possible.
He knocks on the door.
We haven't even gone inside.
They moved out of the way.
He knocks on the door. The door opens just a little bit, and you sort of guys from the back sort of see Charles lean in and speak to whoever's at the door. You see him sort of gesture back behind him. The door shuts, and he sort of turns, sort of checks his. He wouldn't have a wristwatch. He would have a
pocket watch.
Pocket watch. Sort of checks his pocket watch, taps it.
Time for a hashtag reroll.
Yes, excellent. Thank you.
It's about to get real.
A very long moment passes.
Mr. Dodson, were you exaggerating the nature of your relationship with the Freemasons?
No, what reason would I have to exaggerate? That's ridiculous.
Were you just trying to look like a man? Man with connections.
No, I mean, that's it. No, there's no reason.
Talking yourself up.
No, not talking myself up, man. Come on.
Then where is our entrance?
As you say that, the doors do open, and a butler sort of gestures for the group to come in. He says, there we go. A man with connections. He heads in.
We follow.
Yes.
Yeah, let's guess, so we not.
Almost without being prompted, as if it's a fancy restaurant you've walked into without the proper jacket. A servant just is instantly on you guys with house masquerade masks.
Oh yes, I seem to have left mine.
Of course.
Charles, thank you. We were such a this was my fault. I left him behind. He sort of puts on this.
Yes, he failed to tell us about the masquerade bit of this costume party.
He puts on. My apologies. I'm very nervous. Just trying to look a little more interesting than I am. And he puts on this masquerade mask. It's like a sort of a pink and purple like cat mask. He obviously just grabbed one without looking at it, and he's like, "What? Looking a little less impressive than I am," and has this sort of like cat mask on. You guys all put on your masquerade
I'm looking
mask.
for one that's like all black and
You sort of find one. It's like
looking.
feathery. It looks a little
with like one of those long noses.
It looks a little plague doctory. Yeah, exactly.
You don't need to wear that one. You can take that off.
As you're sort of saying that, the doors open.
Please tell me people aren't doing it.
You have walked into a gathering. There's music playing. You see a string quartet. There's a raised stage sort of in the center of this room. There's a string quartet playing at the top of it.
I hope everyone keeps their wits about them among the Freemasons. Hashtag insanity for James Cullen.
Thank you, Chad. As if I didn't need any more insanity.
As the group sort of steps into this room, everyone's wearing everyone's just drunk. You don't see people like outright, having sex on the floor or anything like that. But
there was debauchery.
People are dancing. There's debauchery. There's drinking. You're swept up into the crowd of this fairly quickly. There's people dancing, and James, you suddenly find yourself alone, and you just find yourself just surrounded by masks and laughter and just sort of these inhumane faces. And will you please roll 1d6?
Oh, that's 2. That's
Okay.
2.
So you lose 2 sanity points. You're really starting to panic, but you're sort of managing to keep it together. You do shove a man sort of to get
out
off
of
you.
my
He
way.
comes a little too close.
Get out of my way!
And he just sort of looks surprised and sort of dances off this way.
They all look like
For a minute, I thought it's not unusual was playing. Sorry. So you guys find yourself in this crowd. You have that moment of being swept into the crowd, and then you sort of find yourselves together again, sort of.
I do not like this.
Matthias notices a crumpled roll of paper on the ground. Contained within is a dried severed finger and a tarnished silver letter opener inscribed with the emblem of an eye. Nobody else notices.
That's a
Hashtag
good
GM.
power.
Oh,
That's a good one. That's real good.
Okay. So you guys sort of find yourselves in the middle. You're not happy
Yes.
about this.
No. This don't like parties.
Someone here must know about what's really going on here. We need to look for the Masons,
Yes.
the actual ones.
Yeah, splitting up is a good idea.
What's wrong with you?
I'm transfixed on this gentleman who has this cat mask on. I can't look at him. I can't even stare at
Okay.
him. So I'm,
Yep.
I'm frantically looking around, and I see something catch my eye.
Is this something strange going on?
No.
Am I standing on my own head?
Oh, I think I see something.
You might be.
Oh.
And I kind of walk off from the group.
I turn to anyone who's like the closest person next to me. That's like not from the group.
Okay.
Oh, what an excellent party! Have you seen the Freemasons around? We haven't said hello yet.
The man just sort of like looks at you and is like, "Have you seen the?" And he sort of kisses your cheek, like.
Yes, he's
Oh yes,
dances
oh, having
away.
a good
very
time.
funny.
What? I thought it would be a good idea to ask.
Charles, isn't...
Lady.
Who amongst this crowd do you know? Is there anyone you can recognize?
Recognize.
Even in the masked
No.
state. I realize now it was a dumb question.
I mean, they. Not a dumb question at all. It's a public party, so most people down here would be visitors, folks that are curious about the group, pledges, hopefuls.
But certainly they would bear the emblem of the Freemasons.
Possibly,
Oh, that's very good.
if we could get upstairs.
Right then.
I push my way upstairs.
Okay. So as Peter sort of starts to push
I'm getting
away to the crowd,
Bored of this party. I'm gonna
Matthias,
move upstairs.
you are
No cats.
sort of walking through the crowd,
Soulless creatures.
and you find yourself
Lick themselves.
in a corner. A butler sort of steps up, and he has glasses of red wine. Offers you one.
Yes.
Butler sort of walks away, and after a moment, returns
Oh no, I'm
with
still
a
working.
with the same tray,
Mm.
with a small brown box. For you, sir.
I'm sorry.
For you, sir.
Why, yes, of course. I put the drink on the tray and I take the box. From who?
He walks away.
Just a brown
Mhm.
like wooden box? Any
Yeah, just
markings?
just sort of one. No markings, just a plain. There is almost like a small package. It's wrapped in like parchment.
Yes. Someone went through quite a lot of trouble for this. You see, the thing is, I'm talking to myself. You don't rip it, you just save it. Then use it again.
You've opened it?
Yeah.
There's just a child's finger.
Oh.
They've harmed my boy.
Roll your sanity.
Oh boy.
Oh, that is a fail. Can I use rerolls on this?
You can.
Hell yeah, dude. No. That is a success.
Okay.
His little finger. I wrap it up.
So as you start to wrap it, you realize that there's something written on the inside of the parchment.
Oh, yes. These monsters, what have they... Horrible message that they've...
It reads, "The jaws that bite, the claws that catch." And just a crude drawing of an eye. Just sort of the outline, not like a very detailed... It almost looks like it makes you think of like a hieroglyphic. Just a very basic symbol that clearly represents an eye.
Crumple it in my hand. I look around at everyone dancing and celebrating. Not knowing who in this crowd has just sent this to me.
We cut back to the group.
I've made my way upstairs.
Peter has
Walked upstairs.
sort of pushed his way upstairs. You know, there's that sort of feeling of, hey, if you wear a tie, people just and walk into a place, people just assume. You've walked upstairs with full authority, and it's just one of those things where
I
people
ask no
have kind of-
questions.
Exactly. You guys follow?
Yes.
Yes, I also go upstairs and
Okay.
make a look around.
Charles also follows. So as you go up the stairs,
As we're on our way up, one of the people I walk past, I look at him and I go, "That man at the end, pointing at Charles, he's not with me."
so as you sort of, as the three of you walk up, the man, Charles, is sort of looking around and sort of taking the party in, and just a hand just hits his chest, and Charles kind of looks up, and this man in a suit with a mask that sort of looks like a shark just takes him by the chest, and Charles is like, "Excuse me," and the man just sort of starts to push him like back down. You're not shoving him over, just
As I'm walking up the stairs, I just, without even looking back, just kind of wave.
Mr. Strumpf, milady,
I just
come on,
keep
this
walking.
is ridiculous. And so he's sort of, poor Charles.
Keep an eye out
For
down
his
there.
own good.
So you're upstairs. It almost feels like a balcony, like the floor sort of oversees this whole bottom floor. Now that you're up here, there are, some doors that ring, around this circle. The walls of this are one long library. Matthias, if you weren't busy looking at a finger, you would really love it up here. There are still, it seems like, the party hasn't ended up here. There are still people, there's less. You've definitely entered
Still people
the next
are
level.
allowed upstairs,
Yeah, you've definitely entered the next level of the VIP section. You see in all four directions large hallways that go deeper. Well, I'm sorry, 3 directions because one faces the street. You see hallways that go further into the structure.
Shall we split up?
It's the
Each of one
easiest
of
way
us?
to cover the most amount of ground. All right. I'll choose the hallway to the right.
Okay.
I'll go to the left.
Can you hand yourself?
Of course. I have a rifle.
Okay. Keep it to yourself.
Yes, I will. Of course.
I'll go directly down the middle.
Be careful. Be careful. We're in this together, and we just make sure it stays that way.
Yes, what are we looking for exactly before we split ways? Just anything out of the ordinary, right?
Anything out of the ordinary, any secret passages,
is it a bunch of
signs of places
Rich,
where they
fancy.
might have taken the children.
Yes, the boys.
There are girls as well.
Well, I go down the left hall.
Okay. So you two, the three of you sort of
Split.
break. As you sort of split up, Matthias, what are you doing?
I'm looking for Peter.
Okay. Will you roll your spot hidden for me?
Sure. Oh. I'm gonna use a reroll on that.
Okay,
please.
so so you can use a reroll, or this is a skill check. You can also push that roll if you want. It just means that you'd reroll same difficulty check. It just means that there might be consequences.
How many rerolls do we have?
3.
Oh, I'm using a reroll.
Okay.
Good choice.
I succeed.
Okay. So you're looking around, and just very quickly enough, you see Charles being sort of pushed back into the crowd by this man in a suit.
While he's being pushed down, I'm going to try and sneak past up. So it's kind of like as they're pushing him down, I just...
Okay,
get that.
so this is going to take... This is from across the ballroom.
Sure.
So it takes you a few minutes to sort of... Not a few minutes, but it takes some time to sort of push through and weave through.
Not
and
the most agile of people.
Yeah. And as you... Go ahead and roll your stealth for me.
Stealth.
This isn't the most important roll in the world. You succeed?
I succeed.
Dang!
So, there's a moment...
I'm a man on a mission.
This rather larger man and this sort of smaller gray-haired woman are sort of canoodling. And as they sort of start to spin into this dance, as they spin, you just see this pink and purple striped cat mask on the other side of them. And you just instinctually sort of move to the side of this large man dancing as Charles crosses one pair of the dance partners and you sort of cross the other, so you completely avoid poor sweet Charles Dodson, the best NPC I've ever created.
Charles Dodson.
And you're gonna head up the stairs.
I saw him. I'm
the,
going to.
The man in the suit is now a little alerted to the idea that people
There's
aren't supposed to be coming
yeah.
up. And, so this man in a suit in a said it's a shark mask. Yeah, this man in the shark mask sort of just stands in front of you, doesn't say anything, just looks at you. So please enjoy the party in the ballroom.
I'm was invited here to view the tapestries.
The tapestries, sir.
Yes, the tapestries.
This is an unusual time to examine the tapestries.
This is a mason's house. Are there no tapestries?
Yes, sir. There are many tapestries, and this is a mason's house. Yet this is a very unusual time to be viewing said tapestries.
I was told I could come here and party the way that I wanted to.
He's about... Let's see here. Roll your... Roll your intelligence for me.
Oh.
Or actually, no.
Damn it.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead and just roll your intelligence for me.
Oops, sorry. Totally. That's this up here, right?
He's very smart. Yeah, your intelligence.
Yeah.
Yes, you're very
That's
smart.
just the trait. That's
yes,
perfect.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, success.
His
Okay.
intelligence score is 90, by the way.
Jesus.
So the man, the shark man is, sir, I'm going to have to ask you to join the rest of the party, when all of a sudden almost breathy in your ear, it smells like too much brandy. This man just says, "Matthias, is that you?"
Oh, good lord.
I turn. Yes.
And this kind of smaller, old, like age-pocked man, in a bear mask, sort of lifts open the bear masks. He says, "It's me, Drew, from Yale."
Drew, my good man. It's so good to see you.
It's amazing to see you. I wouldn't expect to see you on a
I didn't know that I was invited, and I was told that there were some great things. You know me.
This is just wonderful. Look, I would stay and chat, but do you see Mrs. Robertson down there?
Oh,
She's dressed as a mermaid.
in the mermaid costume.
I'm going to have sex with that woman.
Yes, good man, Drew. Good man.
Oh.
Is there anything you need?
I just wanted to come up here and just step away. It was a bit too much. I just wanted to clear my senses and view the tapestries up here.
Understood. He looks at the shark man and says, "This man is allowed his way with the lodge. If he needs to clear his senses. Oh, the pranks he used to pull. Oh, the pranks!" And he sort of shakes his fist at the shark man and heads off to whatever sexual future
Drew,
that he has.
Drew. Good luck.
Oh, Matthias. A man doesn't need luck. And he sort of heads down into the party.
I wish I would have friended this man.
The shark man sort of steps to one side.
Oh my god, it's great.
And I'm sorry, you said the tapestries were where?
There are many tapestries throughout the lodge. So
Oh, I guess I'll be wandering around everywhere, won't I? And I stroll past him.
So you come up. Unfortunately, your encounter with Drew sort of cost you some time with Dr. Drew, the sex expert.
Yes.
Sort of
I
cost
A
you some time.
sexpert, if you will.
You live.
I will
You
not.
see,
I will not.
you see doors.
So I literally started to write it down in my notes. And
you see these 3 hallways, 2 sort of checking that way, and then 1 down the center. But at this point, you've missed the rest of the party. Which one would you like to pick? You could always roll a d6 and divide it by 2.
I will go to the right.
Okay. We
If a father knows where his son is
Yeah, that's definitely where he went.
going this way.
cut
Go to the right.
Peter.
Yeah.
You've walked sort of deeper into the lodge. There aren't really a whole lot of people in this area. The music's gotten a lot quieter. You step into a larger room. It's pretty well lit. You know, everything's sort of lit for mood
Okay.
this evening. But you step into a larger hall that I would... The first thing that you realize that you sort of catch is the trophies. You've walked into what I would consider a trophy room. Hunting trophies, stuffed heads of creatures from
How many of them are
different
birds?
countries. You do see, you know, there are some
Quail.
hawks, falcons, birds of prey.
Yes. I find this room stupid, and I will look in a different one.
Okay. So there's also sort of a large
investigated.
dining room. There are a couple doors that go off
Okay.
from this room.
Anything that I might notice that looks out of place? Like any... As I'm walking along, I'd like to pay attention on these... As I'm walking down the hallway. As I look into each room, I'd like to pay attention to how deep each room goes. And then when I get to the next side, I'd like to look back from the direction I came to see if there's any spaces that might in between any of these rooms. Just kind of keeping track of the general size of each of these rooms and trying to piece together a floor plan in my mind to see if there might be any more hidden areas like there were at that last place.
Sure. Go ahead and roll your... We'll stick with spot hidden for this.
That is a reroll.
Do you want to push or use a reroll? You have 2 rerolls left.
Oh, I'm using that reroll. I haven't got to use a reroll all night. Using it. That is a success.
Good.
15.
Okay. So, as you're walking around, you're sort of investigating this dining room. Most of the doors you're finding are, pretty standard to a building like this. There's a kitchen. There's sort of that weird room where the servants just sort of stand around and wait for a bell to ring. That room. There is a room off to the side where just jackets are hung and coats. And then at the end you find a what looks to just be a cigar room. There's a couple of gentlemen with their masks off that are smoking cigars and having a bit of port, who just kind of glance up at you and sort of give you a casual nod and then sort of go back to what they're doing. You don't get a sense that there are any kind of hidden passages, however.
Okay. I don't really know what I'm looking for then. Just rooms on rooms on rooms.
As you're sort of standing there looking around, one of the gentlemen from inside the cigar room sort of speaks up. Friend, are you lost?
Yes. In fact, I am. I move over and I sit down next to them. I reach for his cigar.
They sort of give you a spot. He's sort of taken it back for a moment, but kind of hands it to you.
I take it. I put out my tongue.
And as he
and I grab him by the lapel.
Oh!
Fascinating.
Children.
None of those tastes up here, son.
Oh!
Where can I find them?
Oh.
For the taste, of course.
Ugh.
Oh.
Ugh. I'm afraid you might have to find another party.
So, came on the wrong night then.
Came to the wrong place.
Oh.
Now, if you don't mind. He sort of glances down.
I do.
He leans back. The whole room's sort of uncomfortable, obviously. Cuts the tip off of a new cigar and starts to light it. Well, I can't say much for your appetites, but perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot. My name is Barr. Roger.
Peter. Stump.
Would you like a drink? A bit of brandy? We've been splitting this port. Join us.
I'd rather not. You see, I'm not here to make small talk or friends, even. I'm on a mission, you see.
Are you?
Yes. To fill those tastes you speak of. Let's just say I'm quite mad when I go for a while without fulfilling my wants.
Well,
if you know what I mean.
Peter, is it? And I can't say that the sight of you is getting any better.
I'm just quite flustered, I guess, that I was pointed in the wrong direction, and
I suppose so. But I'm not here to be threatened in my own lodge, Peter Strupp.
Would you prefer if I threaten you outside?
I think we're on the
Bring
wrong
your friends.
foot, my friend. Let me say this. The appetites that you have, we don't serve them here.
Where do you serve them?
Oh!
I'm quite hungry. Let me know this, and I'll be on my way. Let you go back to your little party.
Perhaps you could try... Parkinson's down the street, the bar.
The bar.
There's a room in the back. Some of the local police meet there.
Mm.
I think some of them have the same disgusting taste that you do.
Right.
Just take them out of my house.
You wouldn't happen to know anything about, black dog creatures
Black dark creatures.
wearing white robes.
Wearing white robes.
Well, let me rephrase that.
These are fanciful words
These-
for the
these
Mason
dark
Lodge, even.
Creatures. They possibly used to be people wearing these white robes, but now, well, they're dead, you see. Lots of them. Bodies stacked on top of bodies. See, I'd show you one of these white robes, but the last time I got hungry, happened to rip them to shreds.
Well, I like to think that I have a ear for poetry, Peter Strumpf, but these are some strange stanzas that you've presented us with. I don't think I understand anything that you're looking for.
Nothing at all. Can I roll my intimidate to get up in his face and see if he knows anything at all?
Go ahead, roll.
That's a success. By half.
Ooh.
So, in a very quick moment, you have this barred gentleman, Roger, out of his seat. The other men stand, and he sort of very quickly puts his hand up.
I mean him no harm. It's a party, right?
Indeed it is. Speak plainly, sir.
I saw the remnants of children. And many a men that don themselves in fancy clothes believe silly things with great monsters. These children led us back to you, this lodge. If you know anything about the children that might be missing in this town, I suggest you speak up now.
You still speak in lyrics, but I will tell you right now, I know nothing of children or bodies.
Okay, then.
And he looks you in the eye, and you believe him.
Enjoy your party.
I will. Good day, Mr. Strumpf.
Yes. And you can speak of this if you like. Tell everyone.
Indeed. And as you walk away, leaving this gentleman, Roger Barr, to his friends in their cigar room, we're going to cut to Eliza.
Okay, I'm making my way down the hallway to the right. I said right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You hear what sounds to be a harp and a piano.
I walk towards it.
Okay. You walk into a very, very dimly lit room. And I want you to roll against your sanity.
Okay.
Because in this dark room, you see creatures writhing on the ground
That's a success.
towards you. More than you saw
Mm-hmm.
in the chapel.
Okay.
So many more.
I reach towards my
Dozens.
scimitar. I put my hand on it, but I'm
You
all
hear
right.
them growling, clawing. Till you realize that these are people involved in an orgy.
About to say if that motherfucker lied to me.
Your night vision sort of starts to focus in a little bit, and you found the sex room.
Oh, right.
The
I'll
sex
just
part.
turn around.
It's nice of
then
them to keep it into a room.
walk back the other way.
Is my good friend Dr. Drew there?
As you turn, Matthias just walks right into you.
I dare say.
There's nothing of interest that way, I assure
sure that
you.
my son is in there.
No,
I
he
have a
is
father's sense
most
of these things.
Certainly not. And even if he is, I don't think that you should like to see him in that state, if you will.
He's turning.
Please,
Oh no,
Professor.
he's turning.
No, it isn't that. He went the other way anyhow.
At this point, people are just moaning and
Ooh.
As I say, let's about face.
Let them have their fun.
Yes.
I say, this is not at all what I thought a Freemasons party would be like.
Fairly dark.
Oh, no.
There's shapes sort of dancing across the
no.
walls, and go ahead and roll your sanity for me.
Oh God. That is the sanity is it's a success.
Okay.
It's a success.
Yeah, equal to or less then.
Okay.
Are you quite all right, Professor?
It reminds me of he's not here, so I do need to find him. You said he was somewhere?
Yes, he chose the left path at the top of the stairs.
You. There's a woman standing.
Me?
In the midst of this, red-headed woman.
Yes, hello.
She sort of looks at you appraisingly, kind of up and down. And you.
Stay back.
She walks over and takes your hand, or tries to.
Do I recognize this woman?
No.
Oh, you'd like
push her hand away from mine.
some time in
You haven't come to join us.
the room.
No, I apologize. I was lost. I was looking for the tapestries.
You like tapestries as well?
Lot of good history, you know.
Well, I have you know that the tapestries in this wing of the lodge match the drapes. And we cut.
What?
We cut to James. James, you have found yourself.
James.
The wing of the lodge that you've taken is clearly being renovated. It's in the process of being repainted. There's furniture stacked in different places. You walk by empty rooms that are being repainted, or floors sort of being redone.
Yes. This whole time I have my hand on my axe, which
Okay.
is like in my jacket.
Okay. And as you walk through this hallway, you sort of feel a faint breeze, and you feel sort of, what's been put down and across things. These painter's cloths are sort of starting to move
Oh no.
in the darkness. There's a window open somewhere. There's a draft coming in. Father?
Stephen.
You look ahead at the room at the end of the hallway, and your son is standing there.
Stephen, what are you doing over there?
You look down, and his hand is in yours, standing next to you.
Oh.
Father, I want this to be over.
You want us to find the culprit? We want us to...
I just want you to keep me safe.
I'm trying, Stephen. I will keep you safe, I promise.
You look up, he's at the end of the hallway again.
Come back.
Father,
Yes?
keep me safe.
I will, I promise. I'll never lose you again.
Father, I'm scared.
It's okay to be scared. make it through this. Stephen, come back.
He's gone. You don't see him anymore.
I run down the hallway.
Okay.
To the door. Stephen, come back. Stephen, come back here.
You step into a room, also under renovation, and you get that sense of there was whispering, there was talking, there was activity, and the moment you come into the room, it stops.
This creeps me out so much.
Here is some hashtag sanity Mathis, Elisa, and James.
Ah!
I don't need it anyway.
all of you
take it.
roll
Wow.
roll 1d6 to see how much sanity you get back.
I need it anyway.
Shit, just
Thank you.
one
Thank
sanity.
you.
That's
Oh, that's
bullshit.
You can never go above your
Yeah, you can't go.
your
No.
max, right?
Mm-mm.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Damn. Is anyone here? I heard you whispering. I know somebody's here. Stephen?
You hear a girl's voice.
Who is that? Do I recognize it?
No.
Hello, Hello, my name is... Oh.
Hashtag insanity for James, that wonderful whispering.
Go ahead and roll 1d6.
Oh my...
You ain't gonna just
Ah! That's a 5. Jeez.
So as you sort of step into this darkness,
It's James calling.
this girl has spoken. This girl's voice, you start to hear more voices from the sides of the room.
Stay away. Stay back.
Who is it? Can we trust him? Can we trust him?
It's okay. It's okay. I'm looking for the missing children. Are you the missing children?
The room goes quiet again.
I'm here to
And-
help you.
There's a clang as you kick over
Oh,
what looks like a small, it's extinguished, but there's a gas lantern.
I pick it up.
Light it.
Yeah, I'm gonna light it.
So as light fills the room,
Children, it's okay. It's going to be okay now. It's all right.
you see a few things in succession. There are 10 children in the room. Their wrists are tied.
Oh my God.
I need you to roll your sanity.
Oh my.
buddy.
No, my God. Be strong for the
Burn
children.
through those rerolls, man.
No! I gotta reroll. I
You
gotta
have
reroll.
one more.
One more.
Only one?
Okay.
One.
Oh, come on.
So
Can I? So what
We're just
time
gonna
do
take
we
a
end?
moment.
You can push it.
I need to push it.
Can you
I
push
I don't
it?
think
You can't
you're.
push
Can
it.
I
do
can't- not
sanity
sanity?
No,
checks,
just skill checks.
How does pushing work?
So pushing for like a skill check
Yeah.
is like
Yeah. How does it work?
if you're hiding. Well, say the spot hidden from earlier
Yeah.
when he was looking around.
He's trying to stall
He
you.
It's a
failed.
failure to act.
Right.
It's a
Yeah.
So
failure
if
to
he
act.
pushes it and then
He's-
fails
he's-
it again.
He's just stalling you.
oh.
I'm listening.
No,
No,
this is
I
the
need to
truth.
know.
A lot of
Game
people
again,
need to
son
know
of a
this.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Okay, so you failed.
No! Damn it.
James is.
James.
You're going
James is-
insane at the party. No.
You know what's funny? That last
Two
roll did
hands
that.
sort of cup the sides of James' face as his son brings his glance down to him
No, 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 no.
and just says,
Stephen.
"Look at me, Father. Look at me, Father. Look at me, Father.
Look at
Only
Stephen
look
right
at
here.
me.
I'm
Only
leaving,
look
I'm
at
leaving.
me."
I'm right
As
here.
the light illuminates a room covered in geometric shapes
No!
and equations.
Math!
Ah! Numbers.
No! No, please. I can't solve it. I can't solve it. I can't solve any of this. Please. Stephen,
Look
Stephen,
at me,
help me.
Father. Look at me, Father.
I'm looking, Stephen.
And in the center of the room, a large mirror.
look into it.
As you look up away from your son,
Steven, it's going to be okay. I have to look up.
you failed that sanity roll, right?
I did fail that. Because of that last, that would have been a pass, but cool. That's how that works.
Okay, so go ahead and subtract 4 sanity.
Oh my
Oh
gosh,
What is
going
your
insane.
what is your sanity at now?
26.
Oh,
Oh
jeez.
my god,
20.
I love it.
26.
Tied to the floor in front of the mirror by posts driven into the ground, tied by tight cords. Someone who appears to be in some kind of deep sleep.
In
Is
the
the
mirror.
body of Apollina Wayworth.
In the mirror.
And you hear, no, in front of the mirror.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
And you hear a scream, a blood-curdling scream like you have never experienced before in your life. And the rest of you, as you sort of step out of your hallways, hear the blood-curdling, broken, but undeniable sound of James Cullen screaming for his life. And that is where we'll end.
I was about to say, I'm
Of
that
He
dude
Left
that
It Dead.
just lied to me is going to get his face beaten in.
Maybe he
I don't
didn't
think he
know.
lied to
Oh,
you. I think he
shit.
doesn't
Maybe he
know
didn't
what's
know,
going on.
but he's involved in something that does, and that makes him.
Guilty by association.
Oh,
Fuck
shit.
yeah, it does.
Damn.
Shit.
Thank you guys, as always, for playing. Thank you guys so much for contributing to the story, for breaking our players, for driving them crazy.
Literally.
Props to all of you guys. But props to Matt,
Yeah.
our MVP of this thing. I hope you guys had a great time.
Yeah.
If you submitted something to the plot or a crime and it didn't show up tonight, believe me, it is coming soon in the 4th and final episode of He Left It Dead next week. Thank you guys for tuning into this hyperdrive.
Up next.
Take us out, man.
Is Clue,
Woo!
the IRL
Yes.
RPG. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be coming up real quick with that. So stick around and keep this hyperdrive pumping. We got to get to our goal so we can give away that Red Dead Redemption 2 PS4 Pro and special prizes every $500 earned. Every little bit counts. Get them coming in. $1, $5, $10. Let's go, go, go. We only got a couple hours left if we're going to give that baby away, so let's get them moving.
We'll
Let's
see
do
you
it.
next Wednesday. Don't go to sleep.
Don't go to sleep.